Hello, all. Happy MedComs Day to all. Today, we celebrate the day dedicated to medical communications. But what is medical communications? To answer this and to find out more about medical communications and more questions and celebrate this day, we have with us Dr. Natasha Das. So, Dr. Natasha Das, welcome.
Thank you so much.
I'll introduce Dr. Natasha Das. Dr. Natasha Das is a physician by qualification and a medical writer, reviewer, editor, and trainer by profession. She is the co-founder and director of Haslo Consultancy Private Limited, a healthcare solutions provider based in Delhi. She brings a medical domain expertise to Haslo along with rich experience of over 25 years in the field of medical writing and health communications. Over the years, she has worked mostly as a freelancer. In her previous staff job roles, she has helped build two startups in the field of medical communications. She loves dogs and tries never to miss an Amir Khan movie. So, ma'am, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much. It's a
So, ma'am,
pleasure being here.
absolutely. Thank you so much. So, ma'am, directly we'll jump to this medical communications. Even I'm curious to know about medical communications. What is this medical communications?
So medical communication basically it covers a lot of things which comes under communicating the medical or health information to different stakeholders. It could be, doctors at one end and could be the lay public at the other end.
Okay.
So it's a total of a different kinds of communication material that's prepared. May not be just print material. It's maybe of different varieties.
Okay. So basically, it's about communications. It's about
Yes,
communicating
communication of anything that is related to
to
medicine
medicine.
and health.
Yeah. So, ma'am, I can imagine, so much of work that is being done at the clinical level, and there are so many people who do not have any clue about it. So, medical communications in any way, maybe it's about making the public know about what is happening in the medical fraternity, maybe to know about
Yes.
the latest research. So, I'm sure this is an amazing area because it brings so much knowledge available to so many people. So, ma'am, what is the kind of work that medical communicators do? I mean, to make it more specific, I want to hear from you.
Yes. So medical communication is like I said, it's a very wide area of, profession where we have people who are writers who write medical stuff. There are people who speak on medicine. Then there are people who review or edit whatever others have already written. There are people who manage the stuff. Now, what kind of materials do they prepare? Uh, for journals, research is published mostly in journals. So to make it peer reviewed articles where, there are others who are reviewing it and saying that, yes, this is a good enough research. So that's one end. Then there are, people who prepare websites for general public, websites for the then there are people who write grant proposals even before the research is done. Then once the research is done, there are people who communicate it in the plain language summary. Then there are people who do the marketing stuff. Suppose there is a drug or a medical device which needs to be marketed, right? So there are different kinds of medical marketing material that's prepared for sales training of people who will be going and talking to the doctors, going and talking at the hospitals. They need to be trained, so that is also done. Then there are people who prepare health policies for governments. So there are different varieties of things that people do in medical.
Absolutely. So, I'm assuming there's a little bit of medical communications in everybody's life. For example,
Of
I
course.
kind of, wanted to know about nutrition, and there was this Dr. Michael Greger, and he was, reading so many articles and then making sure that all that information about nutrition gets condensed and made easily available for public. So that's how medical communications has impacted my life, and I got to know so much about nutrition, about vegan diet, and so many other things. So, ma'am,
Yes.
whenever I think about medical, like medical communications has the word medical in it. So does medical means that only a doctor can do medical communications? So means or anybody else can?
So yes, there are doctors who do a lot of medical communications. There are practicing doctors who talk about the work that they do, and they also, have awareness videos and awareness stuff that they make. But professional medical writers do not necessarily have to be doctors. They can
Oh,
be from absolutely any field, preferably from a field where they have done some graduation in the life sciences. That becomes easier for them to grasp what is written. Otherwise, there are people who are even from non science backgrounds, like, people from journalism background, from language backgrounds. So like I mentioned, medical communicators don't just write the material. There are people who do the reviewing and editing also. So there are language experts who do the reviewing and editing once the science person has already given his input about the content.
absolutely. So because it's such a multidisciplinary area, a lot of people can actually contribute in medical communications. And
Yes.
I would also think that a person who has some inclination towards research would also be like he can also do medical communications. Ma'am, the
Yes.
next question, ma'am, you said that a lot of doctors do medical communication. You yourself are a doctor and doing medical communications. So ma'am, won't doing this all reading writing stuff affect a doctor's practice? Won't the everyday work of clinical practice be affected of a doctor? What do you think about it?
Yeah, so during their practice, they are also students. They are always reading new stuff and updating themselves. Take COVID, for example, right? Right now, all the doctors are attending webinars or conducting webinars and, enhancing their knowledge.
Yeah.
So there is something called continued medical education where the doctors do a lot of material. But when you talk about, the time that they need to devote as medical communicators, if they want to be professional medical communicators, they will have to cut down on their clinical practice maybe. But if they're not looking at this as a profession, but as a passion to do medical communication, then I know many doctors, I can name someone like Dr. Guleria or Dr. Trehan, who are now coming on TV and talking to the people about COVID, right? So there are lots of things that's going on where the doctor, even though they are clinicians and very busy people, they still find time to communicate their message to the public. They regularly write journal articles. They regularly publish in even magazines. Like, say for example, if you talk of women's era, you will find a lot of article on nutrition, health, on or menstruation. Those kinds of topics already covered in mainstream magazines like that. So yes,
Yeah.
there are people who can find the time if they have the passion. But if you want to be a professional medical communicator, maybe you will have to cut down on your clinical practice.
Okay, but the point is that passion is the most important prerequisite. So if you
Yes.
want to make sure that people benefit from the knowledge that you have, and people benefit from the knowledge that exists and that has to be channelized towards people or towards a particular community, then medical profession communication is there for you, and it's an opportunity that you can take. So ma'am, what are the skills that are required to be a good medical communicator, if you could answer for us?
So if you want to be a good medical communicator, first of all, if you're writing the material, you need to have good computer skills. Basically, you need to know how to function with Word or Microsoft PowerPoint. For example, if you're preparing Congress kits, conference material for people, then you need to know Excel sheets also. If you want to understand the research that's been done, you need to know a little bit of statistics. Basically, not everything in a lot of details, but skills like that are required. But what you need to really have in great skill that is required is an understanding of the language in which you want to convey, right? Not necessarily that, you have to be a medical communicator in English only. You can be a medical communicator in any language, but if you are an English language medical communicator, you better have a good grasp of the language. Otherwise, you may not be able to convey what you want to say. Plus, I mean, before you say what you want to say, you need to understand first. So you need to have an understanding of science. You need to have an analytical mind to be able to analyze what is written and grasp it. And always ask questions. Don't take what is written as the gospel truth. You should be able to ask questions and get them clarified.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, ma'am, thank you so much for telling us about the skills and the courses available. So, okay, now I've done all the courses, I've acquired all the skills. Now, what's the next step? I mean, where do I get a job, and how do I make this into a career?
So a lot of medical communicators actually start off as freelance medical communicators, where they approach medical communication agencies and to get their work, or they can work for individual clinicians, individual physicians, and write their articles. Then there are people who approach hospitals. Hospitals also hire medical communicators. They can approach clinical research organizations or contract research organizations. They can approach a not-for-profit organization which is into healthcare delivery. They can approach the government. There are, government jobs also available for medical communicators. Then they can approach agencies like WHO or UN. They also have, a lot of communication approach. Societies and association of professional bodies. Like, if you want to approach the Indian Medical Association, they may also want you to write some stuff for them. So there are a lot of avenues. Then you can actually approach newspapers and magazines. You can approach medical publication houses which deal with medical textbooks. So you could also help, editing a chapter for textbooks. So there are a lot of avenues where you can work. But if you really want to start off, I would say start off as a freelance. What stops you from being a freelance writer?
And most people can do it along with their jobs also, like over weekends between,
Yes.
and in taking out some time in a day. So probably it can be in the transition, it can be freelance and doing whatever you can, and then when you get more work, you can switch eventually to becoming a full-time medical communicator.
Maybe most of the medical communicators that I know of are females. There are lots of males who are medical communicators, and they're wonderful medical communicators, and they head a lot of organizations which are into medical communications. But it's a very easy job for somebody who wants to stay at home and work, or somebody who wants to work part-time. So it's a comfort job for most people. So that's why probably most of the females opt for such a job, when they can take a maternity leave or a child care leave and stay at home and still not be out of job.
Absolutely, absolutely. But for all the people who get lured by the comfort that ma'am is talking about, it requires a lot of hard
Yes.
work also.
Yes, it requires a lot of hard work. So I would want to add here that there are 3 things that medical communicators need to remember. When you write or communicate anything, there are 3 things which is like EAT, EAT. That's the acronym that we use. So whatever you talk about, whatever you mention in your in the material that you prepare should be ethical, right? So there should not be any plagiarism or copy paste from some other content and adding it there. You should not do that. It should be ethical. So there are not just plagiarism, there are a lot of other things. You should not do any data fraud, data fabrication, everything is there. It has to be clear. And then the content that you provide has to be, information that you provide has to be accurate. There should not be any misinformation provided. Then it has to be in a timely fashion. Just imagine, in COVID times, I could take that as an example. Imagine getting the information late.
So, ma'am, COVID, I'll interrupt you, ma'am. COVID information regarding
Yes.
COVID. So, COVID, has for the medical profession, every medical professional, every doctor is into webinars today. Every doctor is either, as you mentioned before, is either, attending webinars or hosting webinar or organizing webinar, and everybody is, beaming information. So, what has changed in COVID-19? I mean, from you are from the field, so tell us about the change. Yeah.
Yeah, so COVID-19 has put a lot of work on the plates of medical communicators. So while the entire world was looking at job cuts and not getting enough work, medical communicators were very busy, and they were writing a lot of stuff in different formats and presenting it to the different stakeholders. So I would say work in the medical communication field has actually increased manifold. And we talk about work from home now, but medical communicators have, always had the opportunity to work from home or from the office. And most companies hire a mix of two. There are some people who are in office, some people who are working from home.
Okay.
So I think for medical communication, it's been a busy time. Has been a busy time.
So amazing. I mean, for all the people who want to become medical communicators, this is the time. So, ma'am, with this, I want to ask you, before going into the final question, I want to ask you, ma'am, like you are running this Haslo consultancy. So, ma'am, I want to know about what is the work that you do. What is your company all about? So, can you tell us about the sphere of around your life and how is your everyday life? Can you tell us about it?
Okay, so we at Haslo Consultancy, what we do is we are basically a healthcare solutions provider. So we provide healthcare communications solutions mostly. And I mean, it's not focused only on journal articles, though we do a lot of medical publication. We do a lot of healthcare awareness programs also on the other side. So there is a lot of patient education material that we are preparing. Then we also do a lot of training programs for medical communicators. And another interesting thing that we do at Haslo is, most jobs, when you opt for a job, people will ask you for the experience that you have, right? But where does a fresher get some experience? So at Haslo, we have this unique facility. We take in interns who want to learn medical communication, and we train them. And then they can choose whether they really want to be medical communicators all their life, or they wanted this as a try and see types of things, So that option also we provide to interns who are fresh medical, not necessarily medical, fresh life science graduates. We provide them that opportunity also.
So, after
And the training facilities.
Absolutely. So after listening to you, I also want to do medical communications. So, and
I wanted to just add here one thing, Mr. Singh. I am also a member of the Medical Writing Council of the Indian Council for Clinical Research. That's the ISCR. I'm a member of the Medical Writing Council. Now they are coming up with a lot of medical communications workshops. One which is coming up recently is the one on plain language summaries of clinical trial data. People who are interested in this, they can check out the ISCR website.
So the link, so for all the viewers, the link of this website is in the description below. Yes.
Yeah.
So
yes, that's an interesting workshop, and that's a 2-day workshop that they're planning in July. That could be a stepping stone for anybody who wants to get into medical writing or medical communication.
Great. So I mean, we've covered so much about how to get into this profession. What is this profession all about? What are the courses available? What are the skills required? So much, a full comprehensive coverage of medical communications. And this is the best way of celebrating the MedComs Day, by spreading the awareness about MedComs.
Yes,
so thank you so much for that. And finally, I want to ask this question to you, or request you to give a message to all the students who want to become medical communicators, and for all the viewers watching this video.
So anybody who wants to become a medical communicator, first find out, do you really have the passion for being a medical communicator? If you have the passion, you will develop the skills. The skills do not come in one day, or it doesn't come in a year also. It takes several years to keep writing and then develop the skills. It's like, if you want to be a novelist, you don't start writing a novel and it's a super hit. You keep writing over several months, several days, several years, and then someday you become a novelist. So you have to keep writing, and you could try different formats of writing. You could try different agencies where you can take up a job. And there is a lot of, information on medical communication available on the internet. If you have the keen interest, you can really find a lot of information on medical communication on the internet
So, you know,
and
some
learn there.
links will be available in the description below in the video. So thank you so much, ma'am. You know, you've given us a lot of information, and you know, I also want to now become a medical communicator. And you know, it's such an impressive and such an important. I mean, there is so much gap between what is happening in the labs and in the clinics and what people know. I mean, there are so many myths around today. You know, in COVID, we saw myths around everything, and you know, it's only because of the right information and the right media in which, you know, some important doctors, some important articles were available that people could actually see what is right and what is wrong. So a medical communicator is a very, very, very essential person for the society, so that the right information reaches the right people. So ma'am, thank you so much. It was really, 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 you know, good opportunity for us to host you and, you know, get so much information on medical communications.
Thank you for having me here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.